All right, I'll be working on a 2012 Volkswagen CC. Beautiful color. It's like a brown. In this light, it looks kind of gray, but it is brown. But I'll talk more about it when I come back. All right, I had guests several hours later. I'm back on this. This is the 2012 Volkswagen CC. I'm not sure if it's a 2.0 or what, but the TSI engine has that cover on it. I just took it off late there. It's no bolts to it. It just clips onto these little nipples. They told me that the code from, I guess, O'Reilly or wherever they went and checked, AutoZone, one of those places, told them that this is the problem. So they got one. So what I'm going to do is replace it and see if that fixes the problem. Real simple to take out. There's so much room in here. It's torque screws 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Right there, just to loosen up the this little bracket that sits on top. And then we'll have to take off the intake. And I'm pretty sure there's something holding this piece of plastic on so that the weight doesn't break it. But I'll go ahead and start doing that now. All right, I took off the line right there. Just use the screwdriver, pinch the two serrated edges, and just take a screwdriver, pop it off. That's this line. It was in here and up there. Just squeeze this in. If it's too hard, just take a screwdriver and just pry it off. It comes off. Real simple. Took the screw off of the side over here. And everything is a Torx. Let me see if I can see what size this is. It's a Torx. Oh, man. Looks 30, a T30. It's a Torx 30, and then this nut right here, which wasn't even tight, I think it's a 10, and that loosens up this right here. Now you can basically reach all those right there. Once this is out the way, they're all right there, easy to reach. It looks like it has another little plate, same size, that just, I guess, holds over it. So I'll go ahead and take them out. Don't forget, you have to disconnect all the hoses that's just there. And yeah, this is loose now. That right there is not on it anymore. And I'll have to take off the intake hose. Well, get back to it, I'll be back. Some odd things I'm seeing here. Get a light on this. That's too bright. It's got a line that looks like a coolant hose. Let me see if I could turn on my... But it goes nowhere. Right there, middle of the screen. And then another line right here goes nowhere. Those two go nowhere. I have no idea what they are. So I'll go down this some more. You have to remember this is a bolt. You don't just slide this up. So you have to unscrew the top of that. Well, it's one of those inverted Torx, like real small. And then you have to break loose the metal line right here, because it goes over the intake and then goes back down. So I'll go ahead and take that one loose just to give me some more working room. And I might not have to take it loose, but I'll see. Good morning. This is the next day. I left the car this morning around 3. Come back to my office. The one thing with this thing, you can take everything apart and you just don't think you have everything apart, and you don't want to pull it, break something. So I just said, you know what, leave it and I'll come back to it. I should have just slept on that. But I went inside, took me a shower, and come back out in the morning. Hey Google, good morning.
Good morning, Frenchman. It's 7:41 a.m.
Sure.
Currently in Selma, it's 76 and sunny. Today, it will be mostly sunny with a forecasted high of 97 and a low of 76. There is currently an excessive heat warning in effect. Have a great day.
Yeah.
Here's the latest news.
Hey Google, stop. Okay.
Yes, at 8:24 p.m. yesterday.
So, took everything loose that I was supposed to. I just did not want to pull on anything too hard, being that it was already like 2 in the morning. So what I did, I just said I'd just come back and double check, make sure everything is taken loose. All these hoses and everything just needs to be off. I'll go back and double check, make sure that there's nothing holding. And what I just need to do is just take my time and just rock it and pull on it until it comes. Because I think it's the injectors that's holding it in place. I did not take out the oil filter. I don't think I need to. No, there's nothing there. They might just give me more room, more visibility, so I'll go ahead and take it out so I can see. All right, I got it off. The hardest thing was to reach. This is the little metal bracket here. I didn't take off it's a 10 square at the bottom, but you'd have to have an odd size extension. So I didn't use it. What I did, I took the bolt out of here. It's just a small, it's like a rubber bushing in here. And then it has a small pin going up into the plastic piece. Took it out, all my injectors stayed in, so whew, I'm a happy guy. Because I don't have the special tool, I know I'd have to go get the special tool to put it back in. Now, this is the old one that came out. And the only difference I can see, this one here is closing a lot more than that one. That one is like halfway, the flap is, and this one here, the flap is closed up about 3/4 of the way. I'm gonna move all the parts from one to another, for the exception of this, because this comes with it. And I'll see if it pulls it in 3/4 of the way. Now the other thing I hate with these motors, this newer motors, let me get a light, is the carbon buildup. I don't know how much it affects the vehicle, but oh man, inside there, it's a bunch of carbon buildup. And this car doesn't have a whole lot of miles. I didn't check it. But I know it's less than 100,000. But the carbon buildup is real bad for something practically new. Because the F-150 has way more mileage and there's no carbon buildup. So I'll get to this, just moving parts. That's all now. We're basically gonna be doing, moving over the throttle body The sensors, maybe that one has to move. I moved one already. Just look around and move any sensor over to the new one, and then slide it back in. I'll be back with that. I'm moving one part at a time. I took off the hose here, and just the same push button, moved it over here. I'm just checking the gaskets as I'm right there looking at everything. Unbolted this. You don't have to worry about anything. It's got that little hole at the side. That's for that dowel pin right there. The new one has the same thing, and it comes with these longer screws. So just move that over too. Okay, now almost everything's off the bottom except for that one. You don't need the air hose because the new one came with his own air hose, but you do need that right there, that sensor. So I'll pull it off. I have to figure out how. Oh, okay. I need two hands to take it off. And then just move it over, and then I'll check the top side. So you just do one side at a time. Make sure you move it over one at a time so you don't lose track or put something in the wrong place. I'll be back. All right, everything off the bottom has been transferred. There was one thing up front, right above the throttle body. It's been transferred, just need to be tightened up. And notice this piece here was broken, so I'm gonna have to weld it back on, plastic weld it back on. And then move to the top. I don't think there's anything on the top. No, there's nothing on the top, so I can start putting it back in now. All right, I'll go do that. All right, I just pulled this one out of the number 4. It just comes out just like that. Just hold with a needle nose and just pull it out, pliers, anything. That's what it looks like. I'm gonna clean them up, clean up the inside the best I can, let them know what it is. I have the pictures here to show them too. So I'll be back. All right, that's what it looks like. I scraped it, washed it, scraped it again, and that's what I got. Now it goes in with the high side facing forward and that little V in the back, just like that. So I'll go ahead and do the 3 others and be back. This is after one cleaning. So get the 3 others, I'll be done. Let me give you a better view of what I did before I put it back. I disconnected this piece here from the intake. If you do that, then you run less of a chance of pulling the injector out. So that's what I did. It looks a little different than some people here, which this would come out, the metal line would come out with the intake. I left it in there. So that's the difference that you see now. Well, I'm finished cleaning up these ports and everything. It's a lot of dirt you get out of it. Closer to number 1 is worse. So number 4 was bad, but wasn't as bad as number 1. So go ahead and get that back together. All right, the check engine light is still on, but the hesitation is completely gone. It would hesitate on takeoff, real bad, stumble. I'm just waiting for the check engine light to go off by itself. I'm gonna drive, go down to the gas station, put some fuel in it, and then drive, come back, which is maybe 20 miles altogether. And that'll let me know if it's still got the issue. But everything went back together like it should. I would not suggest it's an easy job. Anybody can do it. If you have a second car, take the time. If you don't, send it to somebody to be fixed. All right. Let me stop here. Feel the hesitation. Nope, no hesitation whatsoever. So I just have to check the bulbs and stuff in it now. All right, but thanks for watching. All right, it's several hours after doing this, almost a whole day, and check engine light is off. So the code, I'll put it down in the description. I can't remember what the code was, but it was for intake something malfunctioning or something. But car's all done and it can get out of here. I would not tell anybody do this job, and you can do it on your own. It's a headache, and it looks like you have room. It's a headache. But thanks for watching everything there. Give me a thumbs up or something. Thanks.